All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Welcome in, everybody. We have some pumpage continuing today for Bitcoin, getting very, very close to breaking the all-time highs. What is up, R Pink? Thank you so much for being here, and for Modern. Sudeep, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here as well. Omar, Samuel S., Edgar, welcome in. All right, guys, let's get into this. Bitcoin is continuing to push up here, continuing to pump, and we are seeing it almost breaking up to new all-time highs. We are just hundreds of dollars away from breaking up to new all-time highs on Coinbase here, and we are seeing some resistance in the box that we laid out yesterday. In the video, we talked about that 886 Fibonacci retracement, which often does reject us in ranges, along with that daily level that we have up there at 123,365. You can see we are finding some resistance within this box here. And I am less confident that this 886 is going to hold as resistance now. You can see very, very locally, we are kind of trying to form a range here and flip that 886 to support. Let's go to the 15-minute here. You can see we're really trying not to close underneath it right now as we speak. And if we do start to lose the 886, I will look for a short position. But I do want to talk about the SFP of the all-time highs. So let me go ahead and zoom out onto higher time frames here. And if we go onto our macro pitchfork chart, now this macro pitchfork, let me go ahead and zoom out actually a little bit more to the 2-day chart. This pitchfork here has been a very, very important pitchfork for the entire cycle. It's called really every major swing position for the entire cycle. You can see here every single major swing position, and we are coming up to backtest that pitchfork midline after losing it. And we really have been struggling with this pitchfork midline. We had a range form above it here early in the year. But if we do come up here and we SFP the way we've pumped over the past 6 days, 7 days here, if we do come up to this all-time high, hit into the pitchfork and see the SFP of the all-time high, I will be looking at a short position as well, because we do have bear divs on the chart. Let's zoom into the 8-hour chart. You can see we do have 8-hour bear divs, money flow, bear divs. Also on NAMI, some local bear divs here. Money flow looks to be topping out here on NAMI. Going on to that 4-hour chart here, you can see as well some local 4-hour bear divs. Now, money flow looks pretty good here, and we did just print a hidden bullish div earlier today on that low of the day, rejecting from that 786. So, and then, of course, NAMI is potentially forming some local bear divs, and money flow has topped out earlier yesterday and is coming to the downside. So I do see enough confirmation for me. If we do get a confirmed swing failure pattern of the all-time high into that pitchfork midline, I will look for the short position. 2-hour chart here. 2-hour, we have multiple drives of bear div here, and money flow looks to have topped out and is kind of rounding off. Now, this is exactly what we want to see, and you can see here as well, multiple drives of bear div and money flow bear div here on NAMI as well. So I have not shorted yet, and I am not shorting this 886 until we get a confirmed loss of the 886, and right now I am not comfortable with taking the short position, but I am looking at two things primarily: the SFP of the all-time high, and if we do start to close candles underneath this 886, like 15-minute candles underneath that 886, then I will look at shorting that 886 as well. Okay, audio's a little low. Thank you. Let's see here. How does that sound? Is that better, guys? Let me check the audio here. Okay, is that better for the sound? Check 1, 2. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, I'm very sorry about these audio issues, guys. I have no idea. I'm not using that software today. The noise suppression software is off today. Just the Shure microphone and it's normal software that comes with. So this should be good. We shouldn't have too much audios. I just had it turned down a little bit because when you're using the software, you have to turn it down a little bit. So welcome in, guys. Welcome in, Wiggly Worm, crypto manipulation trader. I'm sorry, I don't know how to read this name, but welcome in with the little like chipmunk thing. Armin, welcome in as well. And Michael, Lydia, thank you guys for joining. So yeah, Bitcoin is, I mean, we're continuing to push up here. And what I would say about this is obviously now we know that 108.2K area was a significant low that was right around the 886, but it wasn't, we didn't quite hit that 886, which is what I was waiting for. And a lot of other traders were waiting for that 886 daily tap. You can see here that we were very, very close to hitting that 886. Now, if we would have hit that 886, because we were in a larger downtrend, even if we bounced from there, we would be expecting a lower high and for the downtrend to continue. But we did not hit that 886. And if we look at the 786 here, we pretty much bounced around that 786. Yeah, we had a little bit of a range forming underneath it, which was why I was waiting. But we have had a very clear impulse out of this 887, out of this low, out of this 108.5K low. And if we look at this impulse here, I mean, it is getting pretty clear now. We could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be the end of it. Now, this here is a little bit confusing onto where to start this impulse, because the low is actually here and we had a little push up and a little push down. So we could count that as a 1, 2, and then we could count this as an internal 1, 2, and then this is the start of your third wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means that internal third wave would be done. We'd be looking for one more 4, 5, 4, 5, and they would be small 4, 5, 4, 5s, just like these were small 1, 2s. So yeah, there's a possibility that we could chop around here for a bit, see a little bit of this kind of stuff going on. But we want to wait for a range to form. If you really want to be a conservative trader and wait for the reversal, not try to catch a rocket ship, you're going to want to wait for that range to form, a bit of a range to form, whether it's in this box of resistance or the SFP of the all-time high, and then, you know, a range underneath it before that big drop. That is what we want to wait for. And as we're waiting for that range to form, I'd be going in onto like the 15-minute chart, 12-minute chart, even 5-minute chart. If this range forms and we start to break market structure bearishly, which you could make a case for, I mean, I don't like this too much, but we had this initial low, we came down, we broke it. And then if you come up now that you've broken local market structure, you could pull that fib from the high to the low, you put on your golden pocket. And if we do come up to that golden pocket, that is golden pocket 786 area, that is always an area where you could look for another lower high to short. I use this strategy a lot. And then if you break down, because you've broken market structure bearishly locally, that could be the area where you could short for the breakdown as well. Right now, with the way that Bitcoin has been pumping, I am not going to take this. I'm telling you right now, I will not take this lower high short because we are above the 886. And we have hit the 886 in a larger uptrend. So let's zoom back out onto that 4-hour chart. We are in a larger uptrend overall. You can see here, you know, higher highs. Let's just go to the 12-hour. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. This was your first break in market structure here on the larger time frames, breaking these lows. So that's why we were looking for a potential lower high to come in before a lower low. But because we now made that lower high and then a higher low, now we could say, okay, is market structure reversing? Is it going to continue the overall bigger market structure to the upside? Because that overall bigger market structure could continue bullishly, I am going to be a little bit more conservative. And also when Bitcoin gets into these euphoric pump modes like this, it is best to wait. It is best to be safer and to wait. We don't have to catch the absolute highs. We don't have to catch the absolute lows of moves. So we wait for that range to form. Once that range forms, if we do get some local breaks in market structure, that's when we could start looking at building a short position or getting into hunting for a short position. Okay, let me check this chat here. Blue Enchantress from Grok. Oh, thank you, R Pink. Thank you so much. Blue Enchantress, welcome in. Man, R Pink, you are awesome. Thank you so much. Let's do it. Chad P, welcome in. ADD Dad, welcome in. Yeah, thank you, ADD Dad. Thank you for joining here. All this money into Bitcoin, not at 200K yet. Yeah, see, Big Mouth Rob, we were talking about this yesterday. PJR really thinks that we could be at 200K soon. And I understand where he's coming from. But for me, the 200K mark is a bit aggressive. I really just think it's a bit aggressive here. We would have to have some major catalysts happen for us to pump relatively quickly in the next couple of months to 200K. Now, that is absolutely not impossible, and it is a possibility with the way the sentiment for the crypto market is. But for me, I'm going to play it more conservatively, and if it happens, I'll be happily surprised. Samuel S., thank you so much for the super chat, man. Full moon on October 6th. Okay, wow. Thank you so much for that. Actually, I have that full moon indicator. Let's see. Full moon. I think this is the one. And if we zoom out onto that daily time frame, yeah, it is very interesting how these full moons really do correlate with the tops and the bottoms of these moves. Let's see. I don't like that one very much. I know there's one that I used that is pretty good. Let's see. Well, anyways, these full moons do tend to have pretty nice reactions there. So we'll keep an eye on that. I appreciate that so much, Samuel S. Thank you for the super chat as well. All right, let me get rid of this guy. So yeah, guys, I'm just waiting for that range to form. Now, what we have been seeing so far, if we go on to our open interest charts here, and we look at this push up that we've seen today, it's been a relatively healthy push to the upside. You can see how much open interest is increasing here. We have a big push up in open interest, and those were fresh long positions that were opening. So, of course, on the lows from earlier today, we got that nice push, a lot of long positions entering, and we are even back testing the VWAP and holding the VWAP as support. And remember, in trending days, that VWAP will often act as a local support. And if you do hold that trend, that means that the trend is likely to continue. So that is another reason why I have not shorted this 886 yet. We have not truly lost that 886. And the moon phases. Thank you so much, Samuel. Yeah. So yeah, we're looking good. This push up is healthy, is what I'm trying to say there. Moon phase. Yes. Okay. Let's check that one. There we go. I mean, like, look how nice these correlate. You know, bottom here is that the full moon, new moon. I mean, it's wild how much these indicators really do play into things. Trading is based off human psychology. Let's just say that. And we are electromagnetic beings that are affected by the tides of the moon, or the shifts of the moon, the pull of the moon. So it is interesting that Bitcoin so highly correlates with these full moons. Props for Mitting for getting the bottom of this move wrong. Yes, yeah, dude, I sure did. Well, we called. So here's the thing: I did call the 107K support level. We actually had that marked out way ahead of time. And remember, I was on my vacation in Florida when that happened, but we were looking at this level of support down here, and I did post about it as we were coming down there. We were actually looking for this exact level, and because it was our golden pocket, it was our macro value area high, it was a daily now and a pitchfork level. So we were looking at that, but I honestly did think that we were going to get a bigger three-wave corrective move where we took out these lows and came down to like 100 to this anchored VWAP that had not been tested yet. And we didn't. I didn't catch the long here as well because I was waiting for that 886 touch in the daily right below that. So yeah, we were expecting that Bitcoin could have made a major reversal here. And the reason why, let me actually explain that. Let's go to the, now I did long this, but I took profit at 118K. And I actually took some profit at 111, that first golden pocket, that first local golden pocket, or it was whatever it was from this high to this low. I took some profit at that golden pocket right there where the anchor VWAP was. That was 113.5, where I took most of that long out. But let's get back. Let's go to that macro volume profile. So this volume profile incorporates the fair value for Bitcoin for pretty much all of 2025. Let's zoom out onto the daily chart. And on the daily chart, you can see we've been in this kind of range here. But what happens when you break out of a macro volume profile? You see here we came up early in May, rejection. We had a $14,000 corrective move to the downside. Front running, by the way, that anchored VWAP, and the POC of the range, which was a bit strange for me. We see a lot of front runs here. But if we look at the value area high, let's just do this. Let's pull this volume profile back to before that happened and look at the value area high was down in that box. And so this is why we were looking for a bounce from the bullish backtest. So anytime you break out of a macro volume profile like this, a three-wave corrective move to come down to backtest that macro value area high. If that macro support level holds, that means that what the market was considering overvalued for Bitcoin for most of 2025 is now considering a buying opportunity. And we saw that level bounce, and we did see the bounce. Now that rejection at 118K, if we were going to remain bullish, then we wanted to actually see a higher low come in. Now, I was expecting it at the golden pocket. We had a golden pocket. That's where that 111K golden pocket was. So I shorted 118K, or I shorted a little bit late at 117.6, and I took profit at that 111K golden pocket. But the point I'm trying to make here is we had a lot. This was our macro support level right down here. This was macro support that if this level did hold, then it did sit on a macro time analysis and the macro time frame analysis signal that new all-time highs were likely. You were flipping what used to be macro resistance into macro support. Now, my view personally was that we were going to get that WXY to come a little bit lower to test that anchored VWAP, get everyone super bullish up in this area, and then stop them out with one more big drop and one more low, because taking that low would have stopped out all those people that longed this 107K support. And then we were going to get the push to new all-time highs. So that is where I was wrong. I was thinking we were going to come down there, then push up to new all-time highs. We didn't, and we could even consider this a running flat in here. This was like a running flat, and now we're about to push up and impulse out of here. And so far, what we are seeing does look very, very impulsive here. If we look at our volume is higher than all the relative volume here. Not by much. And if we zoom in a bit here on the charts, let's go to the 6-hour chart. Yeah, volume looks, a nice spike on volume since this 108K lows. Look at this spike in volume. What I will say now is we were looking at this 5-wave impulse to complete with lower and lower volume. Why did I turn that off? Let's 4-hour chart, and let's turn that volume back on. And look at what we just got here right now. So this is wild to see this spike in volume. And what this tells us is that, if this is the 5-wave impulse that's ending 1, 2, 3, if you have a 5-wave impulse and you usually see your strongest volume within that third wave. And then as your volume starts to get lower and lower, you'll make a higher low here between the 382 and the 0.5. But on this last high, volume is much lower than it is in this third wave. And that is a sign that this impulse is ending because you're making a new high on lower volume. But what we're seeing right now on the charts is, look at this volume that we have today coming up into the 886. It's the highest volume of this entire push up here. And that to me is a signal that this impulse could keep going. Now, I am looking at short positions. You should never be looking at long positions after what is this, like a 12% pump to the upside. You should never be 14% pump to the upside. You should never be FOMOing long after that. Wait for a pullback, a bigger pullback, even something like this pullback from the golden pocket to backtest that value area high. So actually, let me go into that too real quick. So now we're going to take this macro 2025 volume profile and we're going to extend it to current day price action. And let's see, was this the one? Yeah, I believe. Or maybe it was the other volume profile here. Yeah, it was this volume profile. So this is our like 3-month range volume profile, 2.5 month long range volume profile. But when we broke above the macro volume profile, broke in back inside of our 3-month long range, rejected from that local golden pocket, and then we back tested the value area low, which was also our 2 key anchored VWAPs. And one of the anchored VWAPs was from the all-time high, and it was kind of showing the momentum of the downtrend correction. And then the other one was from the 107.2 lows, which was, showing that if we were going to maintain bullish, we wanted to get back above that. And so the fact that both those anchored VWAPs were correlating very, very close to the value area low here, the break above the value area low and the back test of that and flipping to support confirmed that we could work our way up to value area high. We did that, and then look at what happened yesterday. Broke above value area high, kind of back tested that, and we're holding that. So now we can expect to probably break up to the new all-time highs. And so, yeah, it's just Bitcoin is looking bullish. Right now, I'm not seeing very much bearish signs on the chart. We were looking at the possible 886 rejection based off of prior history on these more macro ranges, rejecting from those 886s. But you can see clearly we are not seeing the reaction we want to see here at the 886, and we are continuing to pump. Volume is really nicely increasing here. So now the next area I will look to short is at the SFP of the all-time highs, just because we would have that swing failure pattern liquidity grab into a macro pitchfork midline, a macro pitchfork midline. But in all honesty, guys, with the way this is pushing up here and increasing volume, I mean, we still could be in the third wave. This could be the volume of a third wave here. And this third wave could bring us much, much higher. Actually, we could be looking at, this is not the most probable scenario to me because it is a bit aggressive, but if we're looking at those 107.2K lows as a wave 1, a wave 2, and this could be a wave 3 that really pushes us up, 4, 5, we could see something like that. Okay, let's see. Does that help? Mike is good. Okay, Mike is good. Awesome. Yeah, thank you guys so much. If I do have any mic issues, just please try to get my attention in the chat. I'm going to try to keep the attention on the chat a little bit more so what happened yesterday doesn't happen. And I'm real sorry if you guys were here yesterday and the mic cut out twice during the stream. Very, very frustrating for me. But I'm just, I'll be more aware of that now. Captain Callout, welcome in. My short is at 20,900. Looked so good. Luckily, you probably mean, wait, 20,900 looks so good. 120,900 is probably what you meant. Yeah. Yeah, and that's why it's Captain Callout. That's why it's always good to set a stop loss. And if you're in a short that's in profit, you take some profit at a local support level. You move that stop loss to break even, and that way, if this does happen, if the pump continues, you get stopped out at break even with a small win. And very, very cool. Now, see, guys, if we push up and make one more high here and this volume continues to really go down here, that SFP of the all-time high is very interesting to me. I'm wary of it, though. I mean, like some of these coins, and it does look like altcoin season's about to pop off. I mean, like, look at BNB here. BNB is pushing up to brand new all-time highs. Huge spike in volume here. We're breaking above the pitchfork upper band after bouncing from the midline. By the way, we called this long position here on BNB. 3-wave corrective move down to that pitchfork midline. I talked about it about 4 days before it happened, and we got that exact thing happen. And then now we're pushing up. We could push up on BNB all the way up to like 1300, 1330, 1350. So yeah, very, very cool. Now I'm not, if you didn't catch BNB, you have to wait. Like there's no way you're going to long right now. We could see 1, 2, 1, 2. This is your third wave in here. We could push up in a third wave and then see like a 4, 5, 4, 5, something like that, potentially coming all the way up to the top. And I think this third wave will continue a bit too. So 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 coming up to the top of the pitchfork. But BNB looks just hyper aggressively awesome. And I'm going to be waiting for some sort of pullback to look for a long on BNB. Okay. Mike is low. Yang, I think Mike should be okay now. The mic should be okay. Yeah, there's not very many people long from the value area high back test. From then to come all the way down again, almost to the 886, just makes people just to wait for them to sweep the low. Yeah, and Alum, I saw a lot of traders, Jason Casper, Andy from Bitcoin Consensus, a few of the really good traders that I respect and actually follow their TA because I respect them so much. We were all waiting to come down and hit that 886 down here. We were all waiting for that daily level below to be hit. And when it was not hit, we all missed this long from the bottom. And yeah, it's, the market makers really played with us there, played with professional traders that understand what they're doing. We got taken for a ride there. Mike, okay, thank you, RP, thank you. Yeah, we'll look at some altcoins, guys. We're going to go into some of the altcoins, so not too much else to cover on Bitcoin. Obviously, we're very close to the all-time highs. You can see that we do have, actually, let's go on to the 6-month chart here. We do have some liquidity above the all-time high, but the majority of the liquidity is below us, below those 107.2K lows. And that is why I'm worried about an SFP of the all-time high. And the way we've pumped up this aggressively, this straight up here, we have a lot of open interest. We have a lot of people that have opened positions since those lows, since our 107.2K lows. I mean, like, look at this here. Look at this amount of open interest that is opened. Huge spike in open interest since the lows. Actually, and if we go back to on the 4-hour chart here, I mean, there has been a lot of open interest, specifically, though, since the 108.2K lows. A huge amount of open interest here. And the way we have pushed up here, if we do start to see a reversal, this thing could be an aggressive, sharp zigzag. So when we see an aggressive move up, generally the correction on that aggressive move is an aggressive move down. It's a 3-wave zigzag, usually coming to that golden pocket area. And so that's what I'll be looking for once this ends, is we could look at some aggressive short positions, some aggressive dumps that happen on the chart. Now, we don't know where that is going to end, and that's why we mark out our levels of interest and we wait. We wait for confirmation. Right now, we do have bear divs on the chart, but money flow still looks very bullish here. And the way that volume is increasing on these moves to the upside looks very bullish here. Okay, let's go into Ethereum real quick, guys. I'm going to hit most of the major altcoins that I cover in the videos, and then we'll start going into some of the coins that you request in the chat. But I do want to go in. Oh, and let me go into the total chart real quickly here. So total chart, we were looking at, first off, in yesterday's video, we were looking at bouncing from the prior highs, right? So let me zoom in on this a bit. Let's go to the 1-hour chart here. And what did we do? We peaked above those prior highs, came back tested those prior highs, held them as support. And once we did that, we were expecting, yesterday's video, I said, I'm expecting us to come grab these highs up here to take the liquidity of the highs. And you can see we have busted above those highs. We saw a small SFP of those highs, but now we're pushing up again. So I think the total market cap could continue to pump to at least 4.27, maybe even up here to like 4.42, where the pitchfork resistances are. And that means that we can expect to see a pump on not only Bitcoin, but altcoins. The total market cap is breaking out of the value area high of this range with a massive spike in volume. Always important to see that massive move to the upside. And we've taken out our highs. And the fact that we're not SFPing this high is a very bullish sign. This is our range high. So after you break out of the value area high, you look at your key highs. This was a high, our prior highs. We broke above it. We didn't flip it. We didn't SFP it, but we flipped it to support. So now you look at your next range high, which was this high right here, which about a couple hours ago, we broke above it. We did not SFP it, or we saw a very local SFP, but we are continuing to pump above it. So to me, this is a very, very strong move on the total market cap. And I do think we could continue pushing up to that 4.26, 4.27, or even to the top of the pitchfork band, because we did not hit the top of the pitchfork band with this high up here. Let me get rid of this. And we are breaking out of this range. We're breaking not only the value area high of the range, but we're breaking above the range highs. Now, the one thing that we don't want to see is we do not want to see a drop back underneath these range highs. So if you drop back underneath these range highs, then we could see a reversal all the way back down to back test the value area high before continuing to push up and potentially pushing up to the top of the pitchfork band. But everything looks pretty bullish here for the total crypto market cap. And I do think we have a high likelihood of continuing the pump. Okay, let's go on to, let me read the chat real quick here. Mike is good. Yeah, nice. I read order flow like crazy when we get to areas like that. Yeah, just see how people bet. Yeah, you know, we've had a lot of short squeezes. We've had a lot of short squeezes within this push up too. But now this last push up today has been very healthy with new longs entering the market to sustain those short squeezes. And I talk about this a lot on the channel. Anytime you have a move start with a short squeeze, if new money doesn't step in to support that squeeze, then you'll often reverse price and drop right back down. But if at local support levels, new money does come in and support that short squeeze, then you'll continue to see a healthy move to the upside. And that is exactly what we've gotten here on the chart. We got a healthy move to the upside after seeing a bit of some short squeezes here. Remember, we were building that bullish CVD absorption. As we were pushing up here, we were making higher lows here on the chart. We were making lower lows on the CVD, and our open interest was steadily increasing. Now that is important, steadily increasing here. And so, yeah, on the pullbacks that we see pullbacks continue. And now we see, you know, a bunch of people shorting in here, right? And so new shorts coming in. You can see those were short positions because CVD is going down. And then what happens is you continue to short squeeze, you short squeeze up, and then now we're seeing fresh long positions step in today from those lows and pushing the price to new highs. Starts with short squeeze, new positions enter, and they sustain that squeeze. Okay, let me check this VWAP bands. Yeah, guys, so here's the thing with these VWAP bands. These are 200 SMA VWAP bands. Anytime they squeeze together real tight like this, you generally will see a very expansive move, very similar to Bollinger Bands. And so we are squeezing up. Look at, like, these bands do see respect too. And we are pushing up to the top. You can see here at 124.6 is where the top of that band was. And if we get up there, we do have to at least watch for a small SFP possibility. Okay, let's go into Ethereum. I know I just said I would go into altcoins and it's been 10 minutes. What's up, Blue Dong? Welcome in, man. Thank you so much for joining. So, guys, on Ethereum, we were looking at a couple things in Ethereum. We're in this big range that's about 3 months long, but we talked about this in yesterday's live stream, and overall my bias on Ethereum has been bullish to make new all-time highs up to about $5,600. And the reason why is, first of all, you can see this macro pitchfork that we have here. Pitchfork was pulled from the bear, let me just zoom out a bit more. From the bear market lows up to our highs of the cycle that we'd seen in 2024. It was an SFP of these highs. And then down to those lows at like 1,300, at the value area low of our 4-year long range. So this is a 4-year long range for Ethereum. But you can see here, once we got, I'll clean this up once we get up there. But once we bounced from the value area low down here of our 4-year long range, that created a nice pitchfork for us to follow. And you can see we pushed up above the POC, flipped the POC to support, formed a 2-week long range in the lower band. Then we were able to break up above the midline. We formed a 2-month long range above the midline. And then we had that quick aggressive dump to backtest if we pull a Fibonacci from our prior range lows, this range that was formed in the pitchfork band up to those highs, and we turn on that golden pocket, where do we bounce from? We bounce from the golden pocket, and we tested our anchored VWAP. The fact that we bounced from the golden pocket and closed our daily candle body above or at that anchored VWAP suggested that we were going to break and at least break this range high here. So we did. We pushed up, we broke up, and you can see we broke up above the pitchfork midline, upper band, excuse me. We broke above the upper band. We had a flat correction in here to backtest the macro value area high and the bottom of the pitchfork band. Well, once you flip that pitchfork band to support, you expect to work your way to the top of the pitchfork band. Now that we've worked our way to the top of the pitchfork band, we formed a little bit of a distribution range up here. 1, 2, 3, 3 taps. We broke it to the downside, and we broke to our macro 382. Now, we were looking for this breakdown. If you go watch my videos from 2 weeks ago, we were looking for a 3-wave corrective move in a wave 4 to backtest either the 382 or a 3-wave move to backtest all the way down to the 0.5. But we were looking for a 3-wave corrective move to at least come down to the 382. And I showed this in yesterday's video, but if you pull your trend-based Fibonacci extension from the highs to your first lows to your lower high, your target is between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236. Well, where do we bounce from? We bounce from that 1.236 and the macro 382 almost perfect. So we hit our correction target exactly perfect. And now we are starting to impulse up out of here. So I do expect new highs on Ethereum, potentially coming all the way up to $5,600. Yeah, we bounced from macro support. Now that we bounced from macro support, let's go on to that 4-hour chart, and let me throw that range back on. There we go. And you can see we have gotten above. So let me delete this now. You can see we bounced from that macro 382, 1.236, excuse me, perfect, and the macro 382 pretty much perfect. And now we're starting to impulse up here. So all of this could be a wave 1 of a much bigger 5-wave impulse that brings us up to 5,600 or higher. It doesn't have to end at 5,600. So I'm looking for that one last push up in a 5th wave. Yeah, guys, please hit the like button. If you get anything out of this video, any insight into the market out of this video, please hit the like button. So yeah, we're in this first impulse in a potential wave 1, a 5-wave move to the upside. And we were looking, you could see we rejected the value area low, but we formed a higher low and we broke back inside the volume profile. We not only broke back inside the volume profile, but we broke above the POC of the range. And if we zoom in onto the 1-hour chart, we even kind of flipped that POC in here. You can see broke above it and we're back testing on low time frames multiple times, held it. Now we're pushing up. Now, yesterday we were looking at some volume resistance. We were looking at that volume resistance of a naked weekly POC, a naked daily POC, and a daily level. So I'm going to delete those now because we kind of formed that range around that area. You can see this range around that area, but we broke it to the upside. So we did not get the resistance that we wanted there. We came up to our 786. We did see a pretty good rejection from the 786, but we're still kind of continuing this push up. And I actually think that we could make it up to the 886. That 886 is very nice because it is the value area high of the range. And remember, anytime we rejected the value area low, but we were able to break back in it. Anytime you flip the POC to support, you have a high likelihood to fill that volume profile to come up to the value area high. You can see we have some prior highs. Our last time we saw a major rejection on Ethereum was this box. We had this marked out ahead of time as well. So seeing an SFP of these highs into your 886, into your value area high, and into the top of the pitchfork would be a nice area to end your wave 1. Remember, generally in a wave 1, you will not break the highs. You're, in this case, the all-time highs or your lower high. Sometimes you'll break the lower high, but in a wave 1 of a 5-wave impulse, this 886 rejection would be nice. We could look for a pullback to backtest that POC, and then you could see your big, super explosive 3rd wave coming up really high and then continuing the impulse. So I'm looking at Ethereum. I mean, it does look good still on money flow here. That's why I haven't shorted this. I didn't short the 786. We do have some bear divs on the chart, but I'm not really focused right now on shorting until I see us get up towards this value area high. This box of resistance is the next box of resistance that I'm going to be looking at. The SFP into the value area high and the 886 and the top of the pitchfork. But yeah, even if we reject here, even if we come up here and we reject, I will be looking for a higher low on the charts before creating it. And this higher low is going to be key because that could be the start of our third and most explosive wave to the upside in our macro fifth wave. So I will absolutely, I mean, on Ethereum, we really want to try to catch that long position. We really, really do. That's the one that could print for us. Catching the bottom of a third wave impulse is really good. Okay, so Ethereum is continuing to pump locally here. I do think we're going to continue up to this area. And once we get up to this area, actually, let's set an alert on that SFP right now. SFP short. And then we'll look at that if we get up there. Right now, I'm not interested in anything else because of the bull div, because of the money flow, excuse me, because of the money flow that we're seeing. Money flow still looks bullish here. We don't really have bear divs too much on the chart here. And so, yeah, I'm looking for that 886 in the top of the pitchfork. We are going into the weekend. We could form a range around this 786. And if we do start to form a range and break market structure bearishly, then I'll look for, let me actually do this. If we form a range, we break market structure bearishly by taking out that low, then I'll look for the golden pocket lower high short here because we could break down. You know, that's that bearish break, golden pocket, lower high, and you'll reverse. But right now, I'm not looking at that. I'm not looking at taking that yet. And then, of course, if we do break the 886, we're going to come take out these highs. Like if we break above the value area high of the range, we're going to at least come take out these highs. But I would be very wary of what we could see is coming up here, SFPing into our box of resistance. That was our macro 786 fib, but that changed now. Let's pull a fib from the highs to the lows. And if we turn on our 786, yeah, 786 was a little bit below it now. Man, I mean, we could also look at this 886 as well because 886s in large ranges do tend to give you rejections. So we could look at that 886. So I'd be putting this box a little bit higher here. And then, but really what I would look for, even if we reject from there, to backtest the pitchfork as support and then continue pushing up. So I don't know if I would be looking for too much of a swing short from that SFP. We'll see if we get the rejection here first. We'll keep an eye on it in the chat in Telegram. And I am going to do a better job at updating the Telegram. So I'm sorry for the lack of updates there. Speaking of that, I just want to real quickly go over the partners of the channel. Just take 30 seconds here to go over the partners. The main partner of the channel is BYDFI. They are a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. If you do sign up using my affiliate link, you'll get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees. But the more you deposit, the higher discounts you can get, up to 40% discounts on trading fees. Now, they do have an initial deposit bonus. If you deposit just $100, you can get a 50% deposit bonus, which is the highest deposit bonus on $100 of any exchange. And then that you can get various 10 to 20% deposit bonuses if you deposit higher amounts. If you do deposit $100, you can sign up for my Telegram where I do post my analysis and trade setups. That Telegram is free once you're in there. All you need to do is sign up with BYDFI using my affiliate link and deposit $100. That $100 is your money to trade with. And then you'll get the 50% deposit bonus. You'll get the 20% discounts on trading fees. So I think it's a win-win for both of us. The way I make money off that is by getting a certain commission on your trading fees. Nothing else. All I do is whatever your trading fees are, I earn a certain commission on that. And then if you do sign up and want to get into the Telegram, the link for the Telegram is in the description. All you have to do is click on that link, and then you type in /verify and then your user ID number, which will be up here. And it's probably going to be a string of letters and numbers. For me, it's custom, but that is how you get into that. Once you're into the Telegram, you're in. Second partner of the channel. And then also, guys, one more thing. They're offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses. If you trade in the futures markets, depending on how much volume you trade, you can earn up to $8,100. Second, we do have NAMI trading. NAMI is a momentum and money flow indicator that I use for entry and exit confirmations. So if you're interested in purchasing NAMI, I do have a 50% off discount code in the description of this video just for my affiliates. Divine50 is the discount code, and the link is in the description for the website, and the discount code is also in the description. And then lastly, I have two other exchanges I'm partnered with, MEXC and Bybit, and both of them are great, reputable exchanges with low fees. There is some restrictions based off region, so if you can sign up with those, they're both reputable exchanges that I do trade on MEXC, and if I could trade on Bybit, I would be trading on Bybit, but I can't because of my restriction of region. So those are the partners of the channel. Let's get back to the TA here. Next up, we'll go into Solana. Solana is pushing up, guys. So Solana, we did bounce from the pitchfork midline. We saw a little deviation of that pitchfork midline, and then we were able to bounce. Let me turn off some of these levels. We were able to bounce, get back above the pitchfork midline and flip it to support. So once we flip the pitchfork midline to support, we actually expected to work our way up to the upper band, or to the band, to the pitchfork band. And we've worked our way up to the pitchfork band, but you can see we're trying to break above it, and we're coming up to the resistance just above. So the resistance just above is going to be, let me get rid of that. It's going to be a naked weekly POC in confluence with a weekly level and a 786 from pretty much 238 to 240. 238 to 240. And if we do reject from that area, I'll be looking for a drop back inside the band and at least a drop to the lower part of the band. And that would also be nice because we could SFP this lower high here. And then, but if we start to really reject from that area and don't see an SFP of that little low, then I do think we could drop all the way to the golden pocket, pulled from the lows of the move to the highs of the move. That could be this could be our wave one. We could be looking at a wave two and then a big wave three explosion here. Now, if we break above 240, I'm honestly not looking for too much else. Let's turn on, let's see, monthly levels, weeklies. Yeah, and then the daily levels. We have the daily up here that we front ran at 256. So 256 was that next major level that I was going to be looking at. Top of the pitchfork, it's a daily level. We would have the SFP of these highs into that. Break above 240, I expect us to continue to grind up to 256. And it's looking pretty good. No bear divs on the chart. You can see no bear divs on the chart. Money flow still looks good on the 4 hour. If we zoom in onto the 2 hour chart, money flow looks good. Yes, we are potentially developing some bear divs here. But not quite confirmed yet. And then on the 1 hour chart, we have no real bear divs. Money flow is starting to look good. Now, here's the thing. If we get that one more high into this resistance and we create this lower high momentum wave, that would confirm money flow has been draining out of the asset, and we would confirm a drive of bear div. That's when I would attempt to look for a short from here. Now, I would play that as a scalp short at first, because we could do this. We could reject here just to come down here and bounce and flip the band to support to continue to work your way up to the top. Or you could reject here to come down to the bottom of the band, grab that liquidity, and then work your way to the top. So I'll be playing that as a scalp short and leave some open just in case we come down to the golden pocket. You can pull your golden pocket from the lows of the move up to, I'm just going to throw it at 240 for right now, and we'd be looking around this golden pocket area. Okay, let's go to the 4 hour chart. Yeah, and so that's kind of what I'm looking at on Solana here. Those two levels. If we do start to lose the pitchfork band, we'll look for lower levels here. But I do think this looks nice for Solana. Our move down was a 3-wave move with a very aggressive C wave here, an ABC correction with a very aggressive C wave. And now we have that 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. We're pushing up in a 3. Our 3 could have ended here. We could see a 4, 5, 4, 5 to come up here and in this double 1, 2 impulse, or in a even more bullish case scenario, 1, 2, 1, 2. Our third wave is going to bring us up to here. We're going to see a 4, 5, 4, 5 to the top of the pitchfork, which actually I think is more likely. I do think that's more likely that we get up to 256 for this impulse. Take out these highs into the top of the pitchfork. Then we could see that retracement to the golden pocket and then push up in a huge third wave. So Let's do a thought experiment here. Go pull a fib from the lows, and we'll pull it up to 256 here, and we'll turn on that golden pocket. You know, that golden pocket there is where we'd be looking at, you know, 215, 213. If we get up there, but we'll that was all theoretical, so we'll keep an eye on that as we get going there. So thank you guys. Ludong, thank you so much for that. Yeah, guys, please like the video if you get anything out of this TA analysis. Good afternoon, preparing for war. It's really, really nice to see you in here, man. Okay, so that is it for Solana. I'm going to go pretty quickly through some of these. We'll go into Sui real quick. Sui did come up to our resistance box, so we're hitting our resistance on Sui. What we were looking at a couple days ago, I posted about this in the video. It's our golden pocket in confluence with a naked weekly point of control, and then just above that was our weekly level, and then we also had a naked daily point of control in there, and a daily level. So 365 was really the level. You can see here, 365, naked daily, naked weekly, daily level, 0.65 golden pocket. So we're coming up into that resistance right now. The big thing with this is we had that 5-wave move down, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So because we had a 5-wave move down and we took out our lows, this is key, guys. We took out those lows. So it was a bear, even though it was only an SFP, it was a bearish break in market structure, right? A bearish break in market structure by taking out those lows. We bounced from the channel midline. Yes, we've broken above the channel, but we could be looking at a fake out of the break of the channel rejection. And because we did create a lower low here, we have, and this was a 5-wave impulse down, we could be looking at a larger ABC correction where it's a 535, right? An ABC, you have your A wave, pushes down to here. Your B wave oftentimes retraces to that golden pocket, and then your C wave could come down to finally hit our support level of that naked daily point of control, naked weekly point of control, and that macro golden pocket. So this is an area where if you're long on Sui, at the very least, you want to be taking some profit here. At the very, very least, I would be taking some profit there. You can see we are back inside our volume profile. This is our bigger volume profile that we've been in since middle of July, 2.5, 3 months long. We did reject from this lower high golden pocket as well, and we do have bearish market structure. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Is this going to be a lower high before creating another lower low overall? And then this area would be the big area. So let me go zoom out on this chart, and that the reason why I'm so bullish on this support level, let me tell you guys that. So if we zoom out onto the daily chart, and I know this looks very chaotic, this chart looks very chaotic. Let me turn off some of these levels. And we'll look at, so we had our big clean 5-wave impulse from this multi-month correction to the downside. After that multi-month correction, we had a very clean 5-wave impulse up. After that 5-wave impulse, we got a zigzag correction to the golden pocket, our macro golden pocket, okay? We bounced and created another impulse up. This was another clean impulse in here, a double 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. There was a clean count in there for an impulse, but we created and we rejected from the value area high, and there was a naked weekly point of control up there. We shorted this in our group. We were looking at this. We had that box up there ahead of time. We shorted this. Actually, I took profit on the long there as well. But since then, we've been grinding kind of in this descending channel with a couple fake outs here. We've been grinding kind of sideways and down, but we haven't come down to the next golden pocket. If we do come down to the next golden pocket, and we're going to be hyper bullish on Sui, we could be looking at a bigger, like a weekly double 1, 2 impulse. So you have your wave 1, your wave 2, an internal wave 1, which is smaller and priced than this one, and then an internal wave 2 down to that golden pocket. That's your bigger weekly double 1, 2 impulse. And then from this golden pocket, you see the big explosion in a third wave, and then you get your 4, 5, 4, 5 to end it. So this Sui is one of the major projects that has major traction behind it. If Sui's going to have the hyper bullish case play out, then this golden pocket long between 295 and 289 could be the start of a massive weekly third wave. And that's why if we do reject here in that last ABC correction down and we really take off, I will be looking for super, super aggressive longs here if we have confirmation. Because we were looking for super aggressive longs here, and look at what happened. So that is what I'm looking at on SUI. But right now on SUI, more locally, we are at resistance. This is the area where we could reject to form a lower high all the way to come down to 295. So be aware of that. We do have the confirmed bear divs on the chart. We do have that ascending channel that you see, that exhaustion into your resistance with bear divs. Money flow is topped out and is starting to curve down here. So just be aware that we are at resistance on SUI after rejecting from a lower high golden pocket that we called there. 5-wave impulse down. If we do, we are back inside the volume profile, so you always have to watch. And then the larger volume profile, POC, is right here. So we do have to watch for, now that we've found reacceptance back within our 3-month range and reacceptance back within our 1.5-year long range, we do have to watch for just grabbing the range lows, this little range in here, into these support levels. That would be your local support level. An SFP into like these guys here. But if you, for me, I probably won't even be looking at taking a long from there. We'll see how it plays out when we get down there. But yeah, I would really like, and yeah, my bias is to come down here, but it's not guaranteed. All right, that's it for SUI. Let's go into SAY real quick. SAY is finding a lot of trouble we've rejected twice now harshly from the back test, the bearish back test of our pitchfork band. Let's go ahead and zoom out on SAY and look at this here. We've been in this range between the pitchfork midline and the upper band for like 4 months now, 3-4 months now. And you can see this range is here. We did bounce from the value area low, but we had a lot of deviation below the value area low, and we did not come take out your liquidity. We took out this low, but not this low. And so because we had lost, you see the upper band rejected us. We had a nice aggressive move down. Upper band rejected us, nice aggressive move down, but we did not take out these lows. Upper band rejected us twice here. We actually were looking for that short position at the purple box of resistance right up here. 786 daily value area high, top of the pitchfork band. And now we're rejecting from the bottom of the pitchfork band. We lost the pitchfork band. Look at here, it was holding a support. We fell below it, and now it's rejecting us. So there is a possibility that we could reject. If we lose the POC, I do think we will come down. If we lose our POC that's at 29.21, I do think we're going to come down and grab that liquidity from 26.27. Now, if we grab that liquidity and we see a successful SFP, I will long the crap out of this thing, because I think that this is all corrective price action in here. This is a corrective range before we could break up to the top of the pitchfork, up to where this naked weekly point of control and this daily level is around 42 cents. And you can see actually that is where our box of resistance is here. So be aware, locally, we are forming a range between, we're forming this little bit of a range between the POC and the pitchfork here. You could play this range. For me, I'm not interested in playing this range, but if we lose the POC, I will be looking to come down to the, take out the lows. Look at all these semi-equal lows down here that we have. Semi-equal lows all in here that we could take out all that liquidity and SFP the actual lows and then get the push up. So that is what I'm looking at. Now, very locally, you could just come take out these range lows that we front ran on yesterday or today actually, and then break back above. If you break back above this pitchfork band, I expect us to work our way at least to the top of the band, but I'd probably be wanting to work our way to that value area high in that daily level again. But that's it for SAY. Just quick update on SAY. BNB, guys, I covered BNB a little bit. BNB is just a beast. BNB is just pumping and pumping. We did call for the long at this. We said if we see a 3-wave corrective move here down to that pitchfork midline after it was resistance kind of resistance here. After breaking above it, if we flip it to support, we are going to work our way to the upper band. And that's exactly what happened. Go watch a video from like 2 weeks ago. From where was this? September 20th to like the 22nd. One of those videos, one of those live streams. If you go watch that, I said this exact thing. And why we were looking at that is we've just been working our way through this pitchfork. Bottom of the pitchfork, broke above the lower band, flipped the lower band to support, came up to the midline. Now, when we were up here at the midline, I was saying we could potentially reject and see a really harsh rejection, but we didn't. We formed a triangle in here. You can see this kind of triangle that formed, and then we broke out of it. So we continued the bullish momentum, and we broke what used to be the resistance of the pitchfork midline right here, and we're now flipping it into support and continuing to work our way up to the upper band. Now, we are at the upper band resistance. Be aware, money flow looks good, and we don't really have much bear divs here, but we absolutely could at least get a pullback from here or a range form in here. Oftentimes, you'll see ranges that form in these bands. And so we could do this over the weekend, range within this band before breaking up to the top of the pitchfork, where at the top of the pitchfork, I will be looking for short positions. I know it's in price discovery. I will absolutely be looking for short positions. Ping, thank you so much, man. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining. Or I'm not sure if you're leaving or not. Ooh, we're losing the 886 on Bitcoin. Okay. Oop. Dang it. I got to stop. I wouldn't say we're losing it yet. Starting to lose it. We'll go through AVAX to Ludong. Let me check this here. Yeah. I'm not convinced yet, guys. No real bear divs. Nice 2-hour bear divs, though. Regionally and locally. And money flow bear divs. Okay, let's look at this. Let's go 5-minute chart. So if I'm going to short this right now, I would put my stop above the golden pocket. So I'd pull a golden pocket. Because if you break above that golden pocket, you're probably going to actually 786. You're probably going to continue to the all-time high. So stop above the 786. I'd be targeting that value area low. That's a 2.6 risk value area high for a TP1. All right, we have to watch for the SFP of this low into that VWAP. That could bounce us. I am going to play this a little bit safe, guys, and wait for, if we drop here, SFP that low and bounce from the VWAP, then I'll pull a golden pocket from the highs to the new lows and look for that golden pocket for a short. Yeah, I can't short right now. My risk reward's not there, so I'm gonna have to wait. My risk we caught it a little bit too late. My risk reward's not there, so I'll set an alert on that very local low. And if we SFP that and then come back up to the golden pocket during the stream, we'll look at the short. Oh, we did. Dang it. We missed it yesterday too. Look at this. So we had the break of market structure very locally. We came up to the golden pocket and rejected that golden pocket. I talked about this yesterday in the stream and we missed it. I talked about it today at the beginning of the stream and we missed it. This streaming is kind of screwing up my trade in here. but it's okay. It's worth it for you guys. But yeah, you could have looked for a short rate from that rejection there at 123 golden pocket. All right, we'll be patient now. Let's wait. Okay, let's move on to AVAX. BNB, we kind of covered that. AVAX, let's go check this out. Now, AVAX, guys, with AVAX, I'm not going to go too into depth in this because we've talked about this, but this was our accumulation range down here. Accumulation range. We broke out of the accumulation range and we came up to our macro resistance. We rejected our macro resistance up here. So I'm really expecting a 3-wave corrective move to come down to $26. If we do see that 3-wave corrective move to come down to 26, that could be a swing long opportunity where you could come up to 45. So that's my overall macro bias, is looking at longing $26. But in the meantime, if we come into that 2-hour chart, you can see that we had that. It was a 3-wave move down, a very aggressive 3-wave move down. And then we've been grinding up kind of crappily inside of this channel. And we did look for a scalp long from the bottom of the channel in the golden pocket here from Tuesday's live stream. That has already played out, and you took out your range highs just now today. So that was a successful scalp if you did that. Long here, take profit at these highs. You can see we just SFP'd those highs. SFP'd those highs. And now if we start to break this channel down, I do expect that bigger breakdown. But I also said in yesterday's live stream, I'm actually looking and waiting to come up to this area right here, because that's your golden pocket and your value area high of your range. You see this local range that we are in here. So value area high, golden pockets there. And oftentimes on the retrace, you get your big initial move down, a break in market structure by breaking these lows or these lows. We broke market structure bearishly. And because we broke market structure bearishly, on the lower high at the golden pocket and the value area high is where it's the best opportunity to look for the short to come down to 26. So I'm actually waiting. I'm not taking any action on AVAX until we get up to this level. And you can see I do have an alert set near that level. So that's the value area high and your golden pocket. If you pull your golden pocket from the highs to the lows, you can see that golden pocket is sitting right there, right above the value area high, $32 to $33. Now the value area high is shifted down. If we pull it back just yesterday, you can see that value area high was a little bit higher. And then, so it's shifting down. The longer we grind in this channel, the more it's shifting down. But I still am looking at generally this area. It's the top of the channel, value area high. And then if we get that rejection there, then I will look to come down to 26. So let's just keep an eye on that. That's the only two things I'm looking at for AVAX. But overall, I am bullish on AVAX. And if we do get down to this $26 area, I'll be looking for swing long opportunities. It's the back test of our accumulation range breakout. Okay, let's see here. Let me check the chat. ICP. Yeah, we'll go through ICP. Welcome in, Curtis J. Welcome in, Dr. X. It's good to see you guys. And Aptos, we'll look at Aptos. Yep, okay. Let's go into, what was the first one that we needed to look at? ICP. Let me zoom out a bit. Yeah, ICP looks really bullish, guys. The thing for ICP is we're in a weekly accumulation range down here, and that's that ascending channel right here. We broke that channel to the downside and we took out our lows. Remember when we were up here, we were looking, this was a few weeks ago in July, towards the end of July, we were looking to pierce these two highs. And if we did pierce those two highs, then we were going to say, okay, maybe this accumulation is about to break up and we're going to see expansion up to the golden pocket. But we didn't. We front ran them and we fell and worked our way all the way back down and took out our lows. So now that we've taken out our lows, we've seen a weekly SFP of those lows. Let's zoom in on the daily time frame. We have this daily accumulation range here, this range, and let's pull this all the way. And the big thing that we need to watch for now locally, let me get rid of this weekly that's been tapped. And let's get rid of this 786. We are backtesting the value area low. We're coming up to bearishly backtest the value area low. If we backtest this value area low after losing the value area low and we reject, we can expect to make new lows again. But we are back inside our channel. And if we do get back above the value area low, I expect a full fill of the range all the way up to the value area high, where you can see our midline would be at, $5 or so. Also, let's pull a golden pocket from we can't pull it from this high, because pulling it from this high to this low, we've already hit that golden pocket. If you pull it to this low, sure, we can, okay, golden pocket's there, but I mean, we actually could pull it from the accumulation range highs to the accumulation range lows and look at that golden pocket. And that is going to be right where our resistance is pretty much at. Midline, daily, value area high. And I suspect the value area high will shift down if we spend some time chopping around down here for a bit. Then the value area high is probably going to shift down into this daily level and this golden pocket level by the time we get there. So that's what I'd be looking for if we reclaim. So the key thing to be looking at on ICP right now is the reclaim of, what is that? 469, 470, let's say 470. Reclaim 470. You have a high likelihood to push up. Now we do have some local resistances. This guy probably not too important anymore. That was a local level to reject from. We didn't get up there. And then we did reject that daily level. You can see we rejected that daily, made new lows. So that daily is no longer valuable. That daily is still fresh up there. And then let's look at our weekly levels real quick. Okay, that weekly's been tapped. We do have a fresh weekly right here at 485.6. Okay, so what I'd be looking at, and let's look at our naked weekly POCs. Yeah, okay, this is really important, guys. We have a naked weekly POC from last week that is going to be pretty much right around that value area low. So our local resistance just above us is that naked weekly POC in confluence with the value area low. If you reject that, if you reject this box between 469.6 and 474, then you're probably gonna continue the downtrend. If we do not reject that, then I expect us to push much, much higher. We have a weekly here. Now, that weekly is probably going to be, let's pull our fib from the last daily high to the that rejection of the daily. Yeah, okay. That is absolutely your local resistance. So let's mark this out. This is going to be golden pocket slash so that is your first resistance level. Golden pocket, value, naked weekly POC, value area low. If you reject from this box, you're going to go lower. If you break above this golden pocket, yes, the weekly is going to be right around that 786. Actually, no, it's going to be never mind. This weekly is what I would expect if we do break above this purple box. A small rejection from the weekly to back test the value area low as support. Maybe back test that POC as support and continue to work your way up to the value area high, your next major resistance. So your next major resistance is going to be this value area high. And actually, I'm going to pull it from the midline to the golden pocket. And we have that daily level up here. So this is and then probably value area high as we get up there. And naked weekly POC at 528. Of course, we do have to watch for that because what we would probably see is if we break back in the volume profile, we probably back test the weekly, confirm acceptance back in the volume profile, maybe reject the 786 POC just to come down, back test that weekly. We could come up here, reject, back test the POC, and then come up to this area. And that's that kind of grindy structure you see, those moves you see. So that's all speculation, but we generally will see small rejections from levels of resistance. But the overall trend of higher highs and higher lows will continue until we get up to our next major level. Let's look at naked daily POCs and see if we have any naked daily POCs in this range. No, I mean, just we have a naked daily as well at that box. So this box for sure is our resistance, our first resistance, coming up right very, very locally. But yeah, overall on macro timeframes, if we reclaim 470, then this thing could really start to push up, and literally this thing could push up way higher, like to $9, $10, maybe even higher than that. Like if we look at this, if we get back inside this accumulation range, which right now we're breaking down from the accumulation range, but we took out the lows is what we needed to do. So we just took out the lows of the accumulation range. If you fall back in this volume, if you find reacceptance back inside the volume profile, you have a very high likelihood to work your way up to the top of the volume profile, but you also have a high likelihood to come take out your accumulation range highs now. You see all these semi-equal highs up here. So you could see all of this is a wave one, reject that, create a higher low at the golden pocket, come up here, break those highs, probably all the way up to the weekly or to the top of the channel, and then you could see that real big expansion. 5-wave impulse, get a little retracement back, and then really take off here. So ICP looks pretty good. Let's look at the daily time frame. Did we have bull divs down here? So here's the one thing I'm concerned about. No bull divs coming to take out those lows. No bull divs. And then money flow also looks like it's wanting to round off here and come back out. So be aware that money flow is looking like it wants to come back out. And if we reject here with money flow starting to drain out on the daily again, that is a high sign that we could reject from 470 to 474. So I'm not, I know Andy from Bitcoin Consensus has gone in really heavy on ICP on spot, and he's looking for expansion. He's been seeing this accumulation happen, and now that we took out the lows, he's looking for expansion. But I am playing it more conservative, and once we get back above 470, that is when you could maybe see at least a move to the top of the range or a move to take out your range highs. But if we reject 470, we have a very high likelihood of continuing down to make new lows. And we could come all the way down to the 1.236. So just be aware of that. We absolutely could come down there. That is about it for ICP. Let's go into Aptos. Wow, Aptos is breaking out of its accumulation range. See, so Aptos is doing exactly kind of what we wanted to see. We bounced from the weekly level. So we rejected POC here, lost value area low, bounced from the weekly. Now, we did not take out this low. That is kind of concerning that we did not take out that low. But look at this. Unlike ICP, lower low, lower low, lower low, higher low, higher low, higher low, money flow curving to the upside very nicely throughout this range since that major low. So actually Aptos to me looks better than ICP for this accumulation range to be done with and to break up and see expansion right now. Actually, we're already seeing it. Look at, we broke past our local. I think this was just from a couple days ago. Wow, we've really pushed up really aggressively on Aptos. We broke above our local golden pocket and POC resistance, so no reaction there. Obviously, you break above it straight. You don't take a trade if you break straight above it. Naked daily POC, no reaction at all. Our higher golden pocket at the daily, no reaction at all. I mean, this thing is a beast. This thing is just going crazy. And this to me is a sign that this is about, we could see expansion happen on this soon. We've been seeing accumulation, and now we're starting to we could see expansion. Now, the one thing though, let's see, we're at the weekly and the value area high, no reaction, and we're breaking above the value area high. This is what's very important here. The value area high of our accumulation range, we are above it. And if we come in on lower time frames, actually, you can see what happened. Broke above it, rejected from the weekly, but we held, I guess we found a little bit of a range underneath it, but we're holding it. And if we close today's daily candle above this value area high at 5.18, then I suspect we're going to start to see expansion in the next few days here on Aptos. Of course, always be aware of liquidity levels. So we have a very key liquidity level here at, what is that, 566. Let's pull a golden pocket from the highs of the range to the lows of the range. So here's the thing. We can't check this golden pocket because this golden pocket was hit on this guy right here, this high. From this high to this low, we've already tested the golden pocket. So that golden pocket has kind of been invalidated. We have not tested the 786 from it yet. So if we're looking at our accumulation range, which I'm pulling it from here, you could even pull the range from all of this, right? All of this here. So let's actually look at that golden pocket real quick. If we pull it from this high to this low, and we look at our golden pocket. So yeah, either way, the 786 golden pocket above that SFP level is an area where you could find some resistance in this general area. But because it's a liquidity grab into your 786 and your macro golden pocket of this range. But what I'm seeing here is we're above the value area high, and if we start to close, let's pull a volume profile here. Okay, yeah, you have to be aware. It depends on how you want to pull the accumulation range. So it gets a little bit dicey here. For me, this was the actual major low. You know, this was that February crash that happened, that really aggressive February crash. And then we had one more aggressive crash in here. So I'm not counting that as part of the accumulation. Accumulation started for me after this low. But if you do want to include it from after the February crash, then we haven't quite broken out of the value area high yet. To me, I'm following this accumulation range here. You know, it's a very clear tap 1, tap 2. This was your tap 3 here. Accumulation, model 2 accumulation. And now we could be about to see expansion here, really pushing up like to $9. Or wait, that was, we'll look at that in a second. And so just be aware, you know, breaking the weekly, we're above the weekly. This SFP at 566, and then of course the SFP of the accumulation range highs. This is very similar to ICP's range highs at 628. That is what you're going to really want to be concerned about, is that SFP up there. So let's look at, you do have a fresh daily level up there, right near that SFP at 614. Let's go on to the weekly chart. And we do have a weekly level at 675. Okay, but this looks nice to me. And look at this on the weekly. This looks actually far better than ICP even. 3 lower lows here, higher lows here, and then you got your trigger, your tap 3 with a trigger wave that's higher low, and the money flow is curving nicely to the upside here. Hidden bull div on that low touching the weekly. Multiple drives of bull div, money flow curving to the upside on the weekly and crossing into the green on NAMI. Aptos to me looks even better than ICP. And I don't know if Andy's looked at Aptos. He should really check out Aptos. Now, you missed it. You know, ICP's a lot further down. It's still down underneath the value area low. But Aptos to me, man, this thing could really start to pop off here. And if it does pop off, let's pull our golden pocket from our last weekly high to that low. And now this is more than a 30% drop, so we're going to put this on log scale. And you could see expansion up to $9.37 easy. If we break out of this accumulation, you could see an impulse all the way up to this area. Reject that area, come back down to back test this the highs of your range, and then you could see a move up to take out these highs. So yeah, it looks nice to me. Aptos looks nice. I have to say, man, I wish I would have bought some last week. Is what I want to say. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, you could be coming up to this general area up here in that expansive move. Weekly near value area high, $10. I mean, like that looks so nice to me. That looks so nice. So it does look like Aptos is primed to pump. It's already been pumping, but you know what I mean, like primed to really take off here. Let's delete this weekly. We're above the value area high of our accumulation range. So I'd be looking at, naked weekly POC, daily SFP area is the next big area of resistance is right there. Yes, of course, you could see a small pullback from this area. If we get the small pullback from this SFP, I'd be looking for the back test of that value area high to continue to work your way up here to take out the range highs, back test your prior expansion. I would not be longing right now. Now, if you are confident in Aptos as a project, you still are at near the bottoms here, and it easily could pump up to $10, doubling what you're at right now, $5 to $10. So if you want to buy spot, yeah, maybe you buy some spot now. I personally would wait for a pullback. Conservatively, now that if you didn't buy in this area down here, then what I would wait for conservatively to buy on spot is I would wait for a confirmed SFP here and a back test of that range value area high. If you come down to 520 and you hold it as support, actually, I'm going to do this. We'll put that value area high there, and then let's come in here. Spot buy there for me. If we flip that to support, I'm going to buy spot. Okay, that is it for Aptos. ICP, we got that. We'll do M&T. Oh, and I forgot Doge. I'm sorry, Yang. We'll do Doge right now. Bitcoin dominance, we'll check that out. Yes. Okay. Oh, what's up, Mark Dutch? Welcome in, man. Okay, we're getting an alert here. Oh. All right. Let me zoom in onto the 2 hour, and I'm going to have to redo that. So I don't know if Andy has looked at Aptos like he's looking at ICP, but to me, Aptos looks even better than ICP as far as where it's at and its accumulation range and the potential expansion phase about to happen. Okay, Doge. Actually, hold on here. We did reject from that golden pocket perfectly and saw a 5-wave move down. Okay, here's the thing, guys. This could be, we rejected from our main box of resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could get one more move down, but let's see if we hit the golden pocket yet. Pulled from the highs of wave 3 to the lows of wave 3. Yes, we've hit the golden pocket, so that invalidates one more move down to take out those lows. We are at our golden pocket. We're at resistance right now. Just be aware of that. But even here, from this lower high golden pocket, you can see a very clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave move down. And this could have been an ABC correction, actually. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have your 3-wave corrective move here. So this could have been a bigger ABC, making an overall higher low from these lows down here. And now the ABC correction is over, and we could be about to blast up to really new highs. Let's pull this range. Okay, and we're breaking out of the value area high. So be aware that this could be a fake out of the value area high into the golden pocket. And if we fall back underneath that value area high, it's not going to look good. But if we can even range in here over the weekend between value area high and this golden pocket and then break above it, to me, that's the highest probability because this looks like it was an ABC with an extended C wave here. Let's actually look at that. Let me go on to the 4 hour. Yeah, we didn't hit the 1.618, but we did move past our 1.236. So probably the 1.382 or something like that. But it does look like that's a corrective move, a bigger ABC here. And this could be a 1-2, 1-2. We're in our third wave here. We could see a 4-5, 4-5. The first double 1-2 impulse, and then we could get a correction down to the golden pocket and then a big explosion up. And this third wave actually could bring us all the way up to the top of the pitchfork band at 35 cents up there. So Dogecoin looks pretty good. Let's go on to the daily. So I'm going to delete this golden pocket. We're at golden pocket resistance right now, so be aware of that. Delete this one. We did reject from that one perfectly. And we did reject from this resistance perfectly as well. Just kind of ranging here. Now, our bigger pitchfork that we've been in, gosh, back in December, I was telling everyone, November and December, when the total 3 market cap was topping out at the top of the pitchfork, and a lot of the altcoins were topping out at the top of the pitchfork. I was telling everyone I was taking profits on spot for altcoins. I got so much hate for that. We were about to see the biggest altcoin season ever. Well, look at what happened. We worked our way all the way to the bottom of the pitchfork. Now, wow. Actually, let me look at this real quick, guys. This is interesting. On the total 3 chart, we held. Are we breaking out of this macro vol? Yeah, we're breaking out of the value area high of both of our ranges, our local range and our more macro range here. This is like 2025 price action. All of 2025, we're breaking out of the value area high. Total 3, I think we could see altcoins rally all the way up to this $1.26 trillion area. You can see flip the band to support. Now that with that last touch of the POC and the bottom of the pitch, the top of the bottom pitchfork band, now I think we're going to work our way up. So I think altcoins are going to continue to pump. And also, if we look at Bitcoin dominance, I will go back to Doge. Don't worry. We are. Bitcoin dominance is pushing up a little bit, but we're still flirting around with this golden pocket. Now, that golden pocket's a bearish retracement. So from the lows to the highs, we came down to golden pocket. We lost it, back tested it. We're chopping around that golden pocket still. If we can reclaim it, of course, we're probably going to see a rally on Bitcoin against the altcoins. But if we do reject here again, then I expect us to work our way down to the 786 and to see altcoins rally. So I would just be paying attention to this range in here. And we are kind of flirting with breaking the value area high, which is a little bit. But money flow looks to be coming out again on the daily. Let's go back to Doge real quick. Where's that? Dogecoin. But with Dogecoin, so we have, let's see, we don't have any dailies up here. We do have a weekly coming up, a fresh weekly level. And let's go to the daily. What's up, Darren Does Things? Welcome in, man. Yeah, okay, guys, we're at the golden pocket resistance, and just above is a naked weekly point of control. So be aware that we're at a resistance here on Dogecoin. Let me mark out that naked weekly. At the resistance of a naked weekly and the golden pocket. We could see a pullback from here. If we pull that golden pocket from the highs to the lows, you can see, oh wait, was it this one? Yeah, we're at the golden pocket, but actually, I actually like that other golden pocket better. Let's pull it from the actual daily high, and then yeah, I would say, yeah, I like this golden pocket pull better. I just do. This is a bit confusing though, because you have your naked weekly POC before that golden pocket, and then you have your weekly right after that golden pocket. So it is a bit messy there. We have a lot of resistance very locally to work our way through, and we are at that local golden pocket pulled from the lower high to the low. We're finding resistance right now at that golden pocket. I think over the weekend, it's likely that we kind of chop in between here, the value area high and the golden pocket, or chop between this golden pocket and the value area high is likely to form a range in here. And then we really want to stay above this value area high. Now that we're breaking this value area high, we want to stay above that. You can see we broke above it, rejected golden pocket, back tested it, and now we made a new high here. That to me is, and like we have the double 1 2 1 2. All of this could be a 3 up to this first golden pocket. This could be your first 4 5, and then we want to see another 4 5 coming up. Maybe even naked weekly point of control or golden pocket above. And after this impulse ends, the big thing we don't want to lose is the bottom of the pitchfork again. If we lose the bottom of the pitchfork, that's going to be a little bit dangerous. But money flow looks good on Dogecoin. No bear divs, really. Money flow on NAMI. We did actually just print a hidden bull div on the back test of the value area low. Very nice to see. Actually, that tells me that we are going to continue breaking up overall, even if we chop in here for a bit. Two-hour. Yeah, we are potentially forming some bear divs. Lower highs, even if this thing curls over, we have higher highs here, just barely, but they are higher highs. Money flow looks pretty good, and we do have bear divs and money flow bear divs here. So we could get a small pullback from the golden pocket above us. And that would also make sense if we're going to do a 1 2 1 2. All of this was a 3 4 5. Now we need one more 4 5 to come up there to complete that impulse. Then we could see a bigger pullback. So yes, we're at a golden pocket, but the other golden pocket is much more important. This one here, and even that naked weekly point of control just above. Remember, volume levels are more important. Volume levels, golden pockets are really important too. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, guys, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you get any insight at all out of the markets from these altcoin TAs or Bitcoin TA. I just need to check Bitcoin. Yeah, this is why we didn't short yet, guys, because that 886, we need to see a break in market structure. That's why we had an alert set on that low. Need to see a break in market structure. We have to be patient here. Now, if a range forms here around this 886, and we break market structure and then come up to that golden pocket, I will look for a short from that golden pocket. But because we got so close to the all-time high, and we do have our macro cycle pitchfork midline coming up at the SFP of that all-time high, I'm really watching for that SFP of the all-time high into the pitchfork midline, and then we could see a retracement. I will be looking at the golden pocket. Boom, golden pocket. 135. This pitchfork midline's been very important though. 92 people watching, only 68 likes. Yeah, guys, please hit the like button. If you got anything out of this at all, please hit the like button. Time Attack, welcome in, man. It's so good to see you. Okay, let me get back to doing, okay, so we did Doge, Bitcoin dominance. We kind of just checked Bitcoin dominance a little bit, but Bitcoin dominance is flirting around with this golden pocket area, and we have a little bit of a channel in here that I was following just very, very locally, but that was just kind of today, just playing around a little bit today. We're above the value area high of this range, and you can see we're trying to break above it. If we do see this little range, actually, even I would like to see left shoulder head. If you come down here, right shoulder at value area low, that could be a bottoming reversal range for Bitcoin dominance where we could break up. But remember, even if we break up on Bitcoin dominance, I'm going to be looking for a breakup to that golden pocket and the back test of the multi-year channel. This channel, let's on the two-day time frame, we were chopping around in this ascending channel for 2.5 years. Hit the top of the channel, came down to the midline, took liquidity at the top of that channel, and then we broke market structure bearishly. So because we broke market structure bearishly here, we were looking for a lower high. I mean, we were looking really at bouncing from the bottom, but rejecting from those prior lows. And we pretty much did that. So we broke down to the golden pocket. We rejected the golden pocket. We back tested it, but we did not come down to the 786 yet. I'm actually very surprised we did not come down to that 786 upon that break. So you see break in market structure, got that kind of bear flag, broke the bear flag down below the golden pocket, back tested golden pocket, made new lows after a bearish back test of that golden pocket. Now we're floating around in this golden pocket area, but we did not hit the 786, which I'm very surprised by. And yeah, if we do form a bottoming reversal pattern here, I think we're going to move up to this golden pocket. And it makes sense because we have some internal liquidity. And I know this is dominance and it's not an actual coin with liquidity, but you can trade Bitcoin dominance on certain exchanges. But you can see this SFP into a golden pocket. Anytime you have a liquidity grab into a golden pocket, especially at the bearish backtest of a 3-year-long channel, you know, on higher time frames, we've broke the channel down, but we have not backtested it since the breakdown. So if we backtest it and reject at 62.5 to 63%, I expect us to move down to 55%, where the weekly channel midline is. Last time we hit the weekly channel midline, we got a very nice push up. So that is kind of what I'm looking at on dominance. It's flirting around. If we close the weekly candle above this golden pocket, so let's zoom out to the weekly. On Sunday, if we close the weekly candle above this golden pocket, we could see a bit of a rally. You see we're still kind of rejecting it, or trying to reject it. If we close above it, we could see that 3-wave corrective move up to the golden pocket, and then one more push down to 55%. This is altcoin season here. Okay, let's see. What was next? Near. Yeah, we can check near. I know I have it. Let's just do this. Okay, so near never came down to our support, which was the value area low golden pocket of this accumulation range. This is an accumulation range, just like Aptos, just like ICP. We have a clear accumulation range. Now, what I don't like here is you see a tap 1, a tap 2. Your tap 2 is always going to be lower than your tap 1. I don't really see a tap 3 yet coming down to that. You would want to hit this box, that golden pocket at 220. It's ideal to. You don't have to. But we are just trading within this range on the daily time frame. Rejected the value area high a couple, what was that, a week ago, 2 weeks ago? And we're overall holding the POC, though, as support. So let's pull that Fibonacci from the highs, last daily highs to daily lows. And we're at the golden pocket right now. So be aware you're at local resistance. Let's go to the 2-hour time frame. And I mean, there is a case that you could say this was a 5-wave move down. This is a little bit shady to count as a 3-wave structure there. But if it is a 5-wave move down, 3-wave move up to golden pocket, you could see another 5-wave move down to actually hit that, creating that third tap. Let's look at the weekly chart because I want to see if it looks as good as Aptos. I mean, it does look pretty damn good. Look at this. Lower lows in the price action, higher lows in the momentum waves. Your money flow's curving to the upside here. Nami, multiple drives of bull div, money flow crossing into the green here. Dang, it does look pretty good, I have to say. Let's go on to that daily time frame and look at that daily. Yeah, daily money flow looks very strong. Did you? Yeah, you did have bull divs here, trigger waves here. The thing with Aptos, look at, I mean, I'm telling you guys, Aptos looks so good on that daily time frame. Look at this. Bull divs, money flow curving to the upside on the daily time frame as you're coming into these lows, making that tap 1, tap 2, tap 3 here. Model 2 accumulation, Wyckoff accumulation. Aptos just looks so nice to me. And it's already seeing the start, the big start of the impulse. We're above the value area high of your accumulation range. I mean, Aptos to me, better than ICP, better than Near. And we know that Aptos is a very reputable layer 1. I think it's built by the Facebook guys, the text from Facebook. But yeah, you're at your local golden pocket right now on Near. So I definitely wouldn't be longing right now. But if you do pull back, I mean, you're above the POC of the range. And the POC is now going to be acting as support for us. And then we could work our way up to value area high again, which is where your 786 is going to be. 786 value area high. Internal liquidity grabs there as well. You can see these semi-equal highs, liquidity grabs. But let's look at some. Yeah, we don't have much there. I mean, okay, you have a weekly and a monthly at the value area low. A fresh weekly and a fresh monthly at the value area low. Looks very nice there. That's nice support. You also have a weekly from last week just above us. And then, of course, this weekly up here is going to be very important. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I know we're at our golden pocket, but pushing up a little bit higher would be nice. And it does look like on the daily time frame we could. That daily's been tapped. Okay. So yeah, really all we have, I mean, we have our range highs up here, accumulation range highs sitting up here near that weekly. That's the next big area, I would say. You would be breaking out of your value area high. So if you're going to see this, if you're going to see a break out of the value area high and not SFP this guy, you're going to continue up to here. You could probably reject from here, see a back test of the accumulation range value area high, and that's when you would see real expansion up to, you know, $5 or so. But Near does look pretty good on the weekly. I would like, remember with ICP, we almost came and took out the highs. We had semi-equal highs, and then we came all the way back down to the bottom and we took out the lows. And we're still looking at the reclaiming the value area low. So, you know, we had our accumulation range in here. I know this is a messy chart right now. Let me hide this channel. But look at you know, we almost took out these semi-equal highs right up here. We couldn't. We fell all the way back down and we took out our range lows. And now we're in the process of back testing the value area low. If we back test it and reject, we're going to come lower. If we can reclaim it, then we're pushing up to the value area high golden pocket daily. And then if we can break these highs, that's when really expansion can start. We can push up to $9, $10. Okay, that was it for near Filecoin. Filecoin looks really good as well. I just bought some Filecoin on spot, actually. Um, so last week we talked about this very clean accumulation range too. Now look at what Filecoin did though. We deviated the value area low, but we got back above it. This is what was key here. You can see on the daily had a rejection of it, came down, but now we're back inside the volume profile. And if we look at our much larger range, we're still below the value area low of our much larger range. But that is this huge upper range. This is like our weekly accumulation because you can see we have a lot of price action up here, but this is kind of our fair value. I would say, let me zoom out onto the weekly. So I would say the fair value for Filecoin is mostly between these highs here. You know, what is that? $9, $10, $8, and $2. Between 2 and 10. This was a deviation in a bull market based off hype. For the most part, it's life. It's traded between $10 and $2. So for me, though, we could see expansion at least up to the golden pocket if we pull a golden pocket here. And we're going to do golden pocket, but remember, you have to put it on log scale because we're on log scale. We could see push up to $37 in expansion. So what we're looking at here, let me hide this larger range. And we're looking at this small accumulation range on the weekly. This is a clear accumulation happening at the bottom, exhaustion and selling. And now we're starting to see accumulation, Wyckoff accumulation. So here's your daily range here. Even making a push back up to the $7, $8 area is a nice move. I did buy some. Remember last week we were right up here last week and we talked about it. And I said, if we drop to the POC, I'm already going to be buying some. Well, right after that stream ended, I placed some some limit orders at the POC and at the value area low. So I bought in 2 places last week for spot. Not a whole lot, guys. Not a whole lot. But you can see we're just chopping around within this range. We could say, if we pull that golden pocket, yeah, that remember the golden pocket was at that, but that we already hit that golden pocket, so we would actually have to pull a new golden pocket. Let's look at the 886. Did we hit the 8? Okay. We just front ran the 886 again. That's kind of good. It's similar to what Bitcoin just did last week. Let me make that a different color. So if you hit that 886, because we've been in a larger downtrend, making higher highs and higher, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. If we do reject here and come down and hit that 886, we have a probability to take this out. And we could be looking at the way this is a descending channel here. I don't like that. We could be looking at a sort of, let's see, let me do this. This descending channel that we're seeing, we could be looking at a model 1. So tap 1, tap 2, come all the way down, tap 3 in a model 1, and then you could see expansion pushing much higher. Not entirely convinced yet, but we do. I mean, daily time frame doesn't look near as good as Aptos, near as good as near as good as ICP. We do not have bull divs on the daily. Weekly time frame, on the other hand, looks very nice. You can see here lower lows in the price action, higher lows in the momentum waves, and money flow's been curving to the upside. Now, it would be, this is why a model 1 would be so nice. If we can get another low here with another higher low, that would be a triple drive of weekly bull divs in a model 1 accumulation, and that's when you could see this thing rocket. So yes, I bought some, and yes, there's a potential I could drop, another 20% or so. Let's just go from POC. There's a potential, 20, 30% here. But I'm comfortable holding in this accumulation. Buying anywhere in this accumulation range, specifically near the value area low, is good for spot on long-term holdings. But we are at, let's pull this from the last daily high to the low that we made. Golden. We're at the golden pocket resistance. So if we're going to continue this local trend of lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, this could be your lower high before coming down and creating another lower low. We are above the POC of the range. And if we can hold the POC, which earlier today it looks like we actually did drop down to it. Okay, not quite. You want to close today's daily candle above the POC at 238, 238.4. If we can break above this golden pocket, which we actually haven't hit yet, we're very close to it, but we haven't hit it. So I think you can come at least a little bit higher here. But I would be aware of a fake out hitting into this golden pocket and then losing that POC. That would mean at least a move to the value area low, but it could be a move lower. Money flow still looks good, but you are developing some bear divs, money flow bear divs on NAMI. So I would watch for a rejection here, just based off the 2-hour bear divs that they're forming, at least a little rejection. 4-hour bear divs, money flow coming out, money flow kind of rolling over here. Yeah, I'd be really aware of rejecting from this area. And if you do reject from that area, watch for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be your 5-wave move there. You pull a golden pocket from the lows to the highs. Let's just put it on the golden pocket. And yeah, golden pocket value area low. So if you do come down here, that's going to be a support level. Now, this is a theoretical fib right now because we have not worked our way up to the 0.65. But either way, even if you pull it right now, you pull that golden pocket right now to the highs, it's only a little bit lower. That's still kind of your area. Value area low, golden pocket. Okay. Is that wave 1 on Aptos? It could be. Ludong on Aptos, that could be a wave 1 of a much larger impulse to the upside. If we are going to see expansion, all of this could absolutely be a wave 1. Then we could retrace in a wave 2, and you could see your giant wave 3, 4, and then you could see a big wave 5 up to that golden pocket POC area, $9, $10, I mean. So, yes, it could be. And it looks impulsive for sure. I mean, like, let's look at the volume on this thing. Huge spike in volume. Absolutely impulsive price action. Absolutely. So, yeah, this could be the start of a weekly impulse that happens. I mean, Aptos looks by far the best one that I've seen. As far as the accumulation, hitting into the bottom, creating a tap 3 into your weekly, tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. Daily time frame looks really nice. Now, I don't like how we didn't have bull divs down here as well. No bull divs. I think we did on the daily, though. Let me check the daily time frame. Did we have bull divs on the daily? Yeah, we did. So that's what you want. And look at multiple drives of it. Like 1, 2, 3 lower lows. Actually, just 2. Sorry, just 2. But you do have the bull divs here. Money flow nicely curving to the upside since that major low, since your tap 2 low. I mean, how nice is this? This is the nicest one I've seen. Better than ICP, better than Near, better than Filecoin. Yeah, buy the discount, sell premium, never look back, right? What's up, False Prophet? Welcome in, man. It's good to see you. What's up, Bitcoin man? Yeah, I'm gonna check Crow, and then I'm gonna call it for the day, for the weekend. We'll check Crow, and then we'll go back to Bitcoin real quickly. Now, Chronos. Okay. Well, we were looking at this major range here, and look at what we saw here. Okay, we're looking at a 5-wave impulse. That's why we have between the 382 and the 0.5 here, right? Let me get rid of that local one. First of all, we rejected the top of the pitchfork, saw a little bit of a deviation above it because it's a low liquidity coin, but we have a 1, 2, 1, 2. So we have an internal double 1, 2 impulse. This is obviously your third wave here. We're looking for a pullback in the fourth wave between the 382 and the 0.5, between the 382 and the 0.5. Well, where do we pull back to? Guess where? The pitchfork midline. Almost perfect. Perfect pitchfork midline. Reject the top of the pitchfork, come down to the midline. Also, it happened to be the back test of your macro range value area high. So we're bouncing from that. So we could be looking at that as your 4. Now we're going to make one more 5, and then we're going to make one more 4 and one more 5. And that would complete this double 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. That could end the cycle for Crow. You know, let's zoom out onto the weekly chart. See, the thing is, we kind of already hit the golden pocket. That's where we rejected from. This is actually really huge, guys. Rejecting from your macro log golden pocket in confluence with the top of the pitchfork. Let me get rid of some of this old TA. Top of the pitchfork, macro log golden pocket, rejected. But we are back testing the value area high of the range and the pitchfork midline, and we're seeing a nice bounce on the weekly time frame. Money flow is crossing into the green here, and on NAMI, it's curving back up to the upside again. So I would say it does look like it still could be, you know, or even if you're looking on the weekly, I mean, I would still count this as a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 here, 4, 5, 4, 5. I mean, that's what I would look. But once you start seeing 4 5s up here, spot profit taking, you know, especially. You could come up and grab the liquidity or the, there's a weekly there with liquidity just above it. But maybe Crow's going to be one that makes a new all-time high in this cycle with that double 1, 2 impulse. But around 50 cents is where I'd be looking. Let's look at where that 786 is. 786, let's put it on log scale. Yeah, that's it, guys. That right there, 50 cents, 50 to 52 cents, I'd be taking spot profit on this thing. Because you absolutely could get your last 2 4 5s up into this area of resistance. Bouncing from the pitchfork midline perfectly. Perfect bounce from the pitchfork midline. Perfect bounce from the back test of the value area high. I'd be concerned about rejecting this pitchfork band in here. The top, I'd primarily be looking at the top around 26 to 26.5. And then your golden pocket. Now, this is more than a 30% move down. Yeah, 53. So we're going to put that on log scale. That daily's been taken out. That daily, maybe not. Yeah, a couple naked weekly points of control in here. That one's going to be important. And then we have a naked weekly point of control within the pitchfork band. That, to me, is the most important naked weekly point of control. This guy right here. Just above us, we have one as well. So let's look at our 382. Okay, in a bearish case scenario, let me just talk about this real quick. In a bearish case scenario, you can see your 382 often rejects you in a strong trend. Now, if we come up here after bouncing from the pitchfork midline and we come up to this lower band, the upper band, and we reject the 382 in the lower band, the lower part of the upper band, then I do think there's a possibility we could come all the way down to your weekly and to your pitchfork band down here. Now, it's not going to be a straight shot. Like it's most likely not going to be this. So we probably would see some, you know, bounce from here again, bounce from here again, lose it, back test it, you know, kind of maybe something like that. Seeing your bigger continuation down. Daily time frame, money flow does look like it's wanting to cross into the green on both NAMI and Market Cipher B. Now, Market Cipher B does look like it's starting to roll over here. I would at least expect to come up to that 382 though. We're probably rejecting from the golden pocket from the last daily high to the daily low. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of rejecting that golden pocket area. Okay, let's check Bitcoin real quick. We're flirting with the 886 still. I have not shorted, and I will not short until we see a break in market structure. So if we come down, we break these lows here. It looks like actually we could be forming a bit of a triangle in here. Break up, break the all-time high maybe. But if we do come down here, break that low, and then we retrace in a three-wave move up to the golden pocket. So let's just pull a theoretical. This is completely theoretical. That area right there between the golden pocket and the 786, after a bearish break in market structure, I would look for a short. Stop would go above the high, and I would be targeting. Honestly, I think that if we reject from the 886, we're going to get a rejection possibly down to POC. And actually, let's zoom out because the POC, yeah. That's probably your 382 as well. Yeah, right around that 382 POC. So that's it, guys. I am being patient with Bitcoin. Total market cap. Okay, this is interesting. If we do SFP on the daily time frame, this high, it is not going to be good. This is our big range highs. We bounced from value area high. We broke out of bounced from value area low, broke out of value area high. But if we SFP the range highs of this thing, on the daily time frame, there's a potential we could see a three-wave move to backtest the value area high before continuing up to the pitchfork. Really watch that. On the total chart, I'd be watching this area here. It does look like we might try to SFP that on the daily time frame. And I don't know why it does that. Like, look at, you put it here. And then if you zoom in onto the 4-hour chart, it's up higher. If you put it here on the 4-hour chart and zoom out to the daily, it's lower. That's just a bug of TradingView. I have no idea what's going on there, but gosh. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Have a good weekend. Trade safe. Remember, proper risk management. Whether you're scalping or swinging or day trading, proper risk management is key. I will see you guys next week. I'm going to stream my normal schedule, Tuesdays, Thursday, Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Videos around market close Mondays and Wednesdays. And have a good one, everybody. I'm going to do better at posting in my Telegram, so I will keep you guys updated in Telegram. Much love to you all.